BR, let's go. BR, where you at?
All right, so we're gonna get BR in here. Asan versus BR. The winner of this will go to the finals to face the winner of me versus Bike Rush. Aspect is important. Asan did just lose a game. Now he came from D2. He's a good player. He beat the D3, right? He
Yep,
beat the
1 through
D3
D3.
bracket.
Yep. Yeah.
And I hope that didn't get in his head here because I want to see him at his maximum facing BR, which has proven to be a formidable opponent here.
Yeah, this should just be a good old-fashioned Rhino bang out right now. Both these players not big on tech. They're both big on the Rhinos, the fodder, and smashing into each other. So this one should be pretty interesting to see. Yeah, and I think Asan is the kind of player who, coming off having a random person from the chat hop in the game and beat you is something to tilt you a little bit here. But I think Asan's the kind of guy who's going to overcome that. Any of you guys watching this on YouTube, I'll probably cut out that random game because it's just going to be confusing. So, yeah, Asan was in the prelims. His opponent didn't show up. Someone else randomly joined in. Then that player quit. Asan's now in the semifinal. YouTube, you're all caught up. All right. Drone's out now from BR. Does he get the drone in?
Yeah, yeah. And Asan, we know he's a smart guy. You want to know Asan is a smart guy? Because he's an actual doctor.
That's how you know. Doctors are
Yeah.
smart, man. Doctors
are smart, yeah. So this guy is an actual doctor, and I love it. I love people who can be super professional in their real life and also know how to have fun and play games and join tournaments. It's awesome to see. So we see here, a very similar build out of both these players. 4 oils, right? 2 power plants, 1 war factory. They're very even on tank numbers. Both of them use their drone effectively. Very, very even in this opening.
Yeah, and it's a very. I mean, we're just seeing such a similar thing right now. It is interesting to see BR a bit more of a conservative build, not stretching himself out as much, not looking for a base engagement. Looking to be a little bit more conservative, possibly than Asan. Asan gonna push in here and not.
Oh, nice sentry.
Perfect.
Nice sentry.
BR's had a couple. BR's OP sentry gun placement, man. He's had a couple strong ones today, and that's not good. Not good for Asan.
Indeed, it's that 1 point, right? As the enemy is coming in, you put the sentry gun in front of their tanks. As you send your tanks in, his tanks target the sentry gun. It takes a few shots, right?
Yep.
And that means that your tanks are getting free shots on his tanks. You destroy 1 or 2 of his tanks, and at that point, you've already won the battle. A perfectly timed sentry gun can easily turn the tide of a battle, and that's what we just saw there. Really, really nice.
Yep, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh, he's pushing in here on the left. Crates appear. Okay, he's gonna grab one of his crates. Let's see.
Ooh, he does get down to steal one of his. Yeah, that's BR taking 3 crates, and Silver so not really matter because BR's on 10K for whatever reason.
Yeah, BR going really, really heavy on the oils here. Ooh.
Gonna gobble Asan up here, nice, and it does have a fodder advantage, better tank placement here. Asan on the run, couple tanks, okay, able to recover, but Asan's scrambling a little bit here. He doesn't want to get on his heels, and you really can't afford to anyway. So he's trying to look for openings. You see him moving across the map, trying to be the aggressor, but he's out tanked, he's out economied, and so now Asan out with the radar, and that's what you do. All of a sudden you're like, this isn't gonna work. All right, try something different. Bring some Desos into the game, maybe a battle lab, start mixing things up.
Indeed, indeed. So we're seeing here 4 war factories for BR. Superior tank control, superior fodder. BR looking super, super strong right now. Nice. We're seeing Desolators come out for Asan. That's something you want to do when you're a little bit down on tanks. Don't know what he threw that Deso on the top left, but that's what you want to do when you're lower on tanks is get Desolators out, and they're very effective against large groups.
Yeah,
right? They'll deploy and spread radiation around.
Yeah, possibly thin out the fodder, do some chip damage. Yeah, you gotta do something. If you're behind on war factories and you're behind on rhinos, nothing good's gonna happen. Oh, and out of place now, and Asan desoing quite a bit of his own tanks. He's got this Kirov out, but man, BR's got a lot of rhinos. BR's tough, man.
So BR cleans up this battle here. It started with that perfectly placed sentry gun in the beginning, and from there he was just ahead on tanks the entire time, and now he's bringing the hammer down, closing it up. Asan does have a Kirov, but all BR has to do is exactly what he's doing, is make some flak tracks and run away with his MCV, and he will be perfectly fine. A lot of radiation there, getting a lot of chip damage, but does it really matter at this point?
No, it does not.
With him having a million tanks. and Hassan having no tanks.
MCV on the run. Yep, too many tanks. Fish, come on. Fish, how many hours you spent in this stream? Come on, buddy. Look on the right side of the screen. You know I got all the info right there for you. You know I'm looking out for you. You know you can't count on these other guys in the chat to tell you the series number. So BR takes it. BR's tough, man. BR's... Oh, BR masses the Rhinos, dude. What a force. What a force.
Indeed. Wow. Very, very nice. And again, that sentry gun placement, they were so even, Ivor. Their builds were so
Yep.
identical. Hassan was the one who broke first. He's like, oh, I'm going to attack. BR was there waiting for him to try and attack. Bam, sentry gun. Bam, win the tank engagement. And from that point on, it was Hassan scrambling to catch up. He tried to tech up, which is a great move. Ultimately, it wasn't enough, and Hassan took that point home.
There's too many Rhinos, yeah. And the catch up mechanics needed when you're down by that many Rhinos, Desos, you know, microing Desos, they're difficult. You know, they're possible, but even top level players struggle with them. And you know, Hassan just struggled to catch up or slow him down. So Hassan is going to switch over to Allied. I think it's a decent look. I don't know. I mean, Rhino Wars with BR, I don't think is a great idea for anyone in this division. So Hassan mixing things up here with the Allied. I think that's a great idea. Legend in the house.
I'm so excited you're here. I could hug a desolator.
Yo, Legend, good to see you. All right. So, Allied. We have seen Hassan go primarily Soviet. Like you said, it's a good idea to switch up if you see you cannot out-Soviet your opponent. But Allied is tough, especially early game. We'll see if Hassan has a plan. We'll see if he can execute it, starting by anti-scouting, which I like. He's not going to let BR have a look in his base. Definitely always an advantage to have your base shrouded from your opponent. Going 2 oils first. BR not going War Factory first, which is something you often see the Soviet players do versus the Allied player going oil first. But is getting the Rhinos pumped out already. Hassan, 3 oils. And an AFC, interesting.
Wow, AFC before the War Factory. Yes, he's tucked in here pretty tight in the corner. Obviously, going to try to turtle in, get the Eagles flying. I think it's a decent move. I think it's a decent move against BR. So Rocky's out now. You go after the power. You pull the Rockies out. You snipe the flak. Easier said than done. Does get it. Rocky's back in on the power. Gonna try
Really
to take...
nice. All right. The question is, why isn't BR pushing in right now? He probably, I mean, all depends how good Hassan is in defending with just infantry. His GGI is going way out into the lake, not where he was planning to send them, I'm sure.
Yep. Oh, and
the flak cannon does come up. Ooh, 5 Rhinos already heading towards an Allied base with 0 tanks. I don't know if Hassan can hold on here, Ivor. Hassan might be in big trouble.
Yeah, if the Eagles all get there, if those GGIs wouldn't have been out of position and each Eagle could have landed a bomb, he would have had maybe a chance. But the GGIs out of position, they're not the kind of guys who want out of position because they're so slow. Look at those guys limping around the battlefield. They got to carry those shells with them. It's heavy. And
Indeed, and he got that oil next to the AFC.
Targeted
and
the oil.
Lost 4 Eagles for it. That's
4 Eagles, AFC, oil. Pretty devastating here. BR has everything going for him right now.
Yeah, so again, Hassan is not out of this yet. He does have the money to spam infantry and defend versus any Soviet force that comes. But again, Hassan is in a position where he's playing catch-up, and look, BR gets all the money crates in the center. He's rich as all hell, and he knows it, which is why he just made a 3rd war factory, and his tank production is going to start being very dangerous. Hassan making 2 AFCs right now. Hoping to make enough Eagles to start sniping war factories and playing catch-up here. But he's playing catch-up at this moment as BR gets a 4th war factory out, Ivor. 4 war factories versus 1.
Yeah, Hassan on 4K. So he needs to have a sniper ready for when the Desolator comes. The majority of his defense right now are infantry. And now a battle lab. I don't know about that. I don't think Hassan's going to have the money for this. Honestly, I wouldn't have minded seeing Hassan just pump Eagles, no battle lab, snipers and GGIs, try to turtle that way and try to start doing things with the Eagles maybe. Now, you guys do need Mirages, right? You need the Mirages to slow these Rhinos down.
Yeah, definitely. Well, BFs would have been just as effective.
You always say that,
Ooh.
yet you're the only one who uses them, Snark. Loses quite a few eagles there, and Hassan's broke now, so that's the problem.
Yeah, so Assad lost a lot of eagles to get 1 oil. It does make BR broke, right? BR's on 4 oils. It's not enough to support 4
Oh,
war
nice.
factories. You need, so that is nice out of Hassan. But Hassan also, his eco isn't the best, right? He's on 5 oils. That's 1 oil extra. And this army, look at the size of this. Do you see the size of this army?
Yep, yep. Oh, and the Mirage is way out of position. Don't know why. Deploy the GIs.
Yeah. He's just gonna rush right in. He has Desos in those flak tracks, which is amazing. He's gonna, even if Hassan destroys this army somehow, he's gonna lose so much on the way that it's just gonna be over at that point.
The Desolator.
Loses the MCV, yeah. Loses both AFCs. Desolators deploy, clean up the infantry, which was his last line of defense. Battle Lab goes down. Diving for the last war factory is gonna get it, and Hassan is left with a barracks.
Yep, GG, that's it. Decent plan from Hassan. With that many rhinos, it would be tough. He spread himself a little too thin, I think. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to do the eagles and the bat. I don't know. It was hard. He was trying to do a lot. I'm not sure what the most effective way to resist that many rhinos would be, while you also maintain an air force as your offense.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Yeah,
say.
well, the first step would be to have a million more GIs, right?
Ton of infantry. Yeah.
Ton of infantry. That would have been the first step. Definitely should have spammed more oils there and less on the Air Force. Air Force is cute if you have enough to defend, right? Then you could snipe. But if you don't have enough to defend, fine, go ahead, snipe a war factory or 2. It's not going to be enough.
Yeah, I guess I like the idea of having the eagles and picking things apart just because, like, you got to have some kind of offense. But at the same time, you look at BR's base. He just built flat cannons, and then he didn't have enough money, so he sends in 6 eagles, he loses them, he can't even rebuild them. It's tough, but BR is just a lot of rhinos. It's a lot of rhinos. But there are these bottlenecks on this map, though. I mean, it's kind of funny, man. I mean, like, honestly, some walls could really slow things down. Like, there's you get people
indeed.
that's why those GIs can be so nice. So GGIs versus GIs against rhinos. I mean, the GIs do more damage.
Critical amount.
GGIs can't
Critical.
be.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, no, the GGIs do more damage versus tanks, but there is a critical amount of GIs, right? That they'll just melt almost anything that comes at them. So if you're facing a huge amount, there's overkill with GGIs because the rate of fire is so slow, right? So you could have like 20 GGIs target 1 tank, even though it only requires 5 of them. If you understand what I'm saying, it's a little bit complicated.
Sorry, I was talking to Hassan. Sorry. Okay, sorry. So the critical mass with GGIs is dependent on what?
No, so I'm saying the thing with GGIs is the rate of fire is much slower, right? So you could have 20 GGIs target 1 tank, and it's way overkill, but they're all targeting 1 tank, even though you only need 5 of them to do it.
Ah, interesting.
GIs have a much faster rate of fire, so they'll, they might overkill a little bit of tank, but then they'll immediately move on to another target.
Oh, interesting. Like they pivot faster from to a new target. Ah, that's interesting.
Yeah, so you definitely want a combo of them both if you're facing a Rhino army.
So Hassan
Only
asking,
GGIs won't be any good.
so the combo. Yeah, so Hassan's asking if you should quit. I don't know. It's a tournament. I would tell you not to quit. If BR refuses to drop the hammer, you only got a couple more minutes to resist. You can resist.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? Sorry,
no, go ahead.
If you click tab, look at the kills.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
these players are really, really even on the kills right now.
We've seen it plenty of times. The defender in points, the defender has the advantage because he's just been crushing units, crushing units. So yeah, I mean, make the other in a tournament like this. Yeah, make the opponent convert. Nothing wrong with that, I don't think. Especially.
He's gonna IC demo trucks.
Yep, the IC demo truck.
That's gonna end it right there. Oh, I love it.
The IC demo truck. Still about 2 minutes left on the clock, so plenty of time to pull it off. And if you guys haven't seen an IC demo truck before, you're in for a treat.
Assume that's what he's doing, right? There we go. He's moving them forward. His IC is ready. Hassan trying to move a few of his units into the. Oh, if he kills just one of them before the IC goes off.
Oh, he would only have to. Oh, there's. Oh, here we go. The Iron Curtain demo trucks. Oh my God, look at the infantry. They're trying to run. There's no time. There's no time. Oh my God.
Oh, and that's exactly what you want to see. Okay, so you have all this allied infantry. How are you going to get through it? You know, there's
Yep.
whatever. Didn't have an AFC, so he couldn't have made snipers. So really, a
A desolator would've
desolator, a good deso bomb would have been great. But the IC demo trucks, that style. That's how you do it with style. That was fun to see.
Yep, and honestly, this is one of those positions where people are like the clock and the points, and everyone complains and stuff. Honestly, I love it. I would love if it came down to time and Asan won, because BR should drop the hammer. He's wasting all of our time. He's not converting the position. He's closing out. It's not about slowly. I mean, you know what I mean? There's something to be said for that. Like this whole BR should be dropping the hammer, and I think he might not be watching the clock. The clock might run out. We only got a minute left, and like I said, man, I think BR should be punished for wasting our time. I don't think it's gonna. Oh, another round of demos.
Oh god.
And
Yeah,
Asan,
he definitely should have dropped the hammer.
yeah, and Asan hanging in here. Asan's not the one wasting our time. He doesn't need to quit. It's BR's job to drop the hammer. So here come the
He's gonna
demo
come in
trucks.
here. One demo truck to the power plants, one demo truck to the prison, one demo truck to the pillbox, and he
He
wins.
might not.
Right
He's
there,
not gonna
right
get the
there.
pillbox though. Oh yeah. Oh, he sees it.
Boom, just the power plant, and it's over.
Repair
just
it.
The power plant.
Repair it. Repair it.
Bam. All right. So BR does take it home, moving on to the finals of the D2 bracket, and that was entertaining.
It
was a
was.
little bit longer than it should have been, but it was entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be the people's hero, or you want to be that guy who wastes time and Iron Curtains demo trucks and pisses everyone off. It's a stylistic decision. It can go either way. BR does go on. Well played by both players. BR looking tough. Bike Rush and Snark hop in here. All right, so Snark and Bike Rush in here. So for those of you guys who missed it, the day we debuted this new map, I think it was the day we debuted Oasis. Snark and Bike Rush got a show match in, and it was a banger, man. It was a best of 5, came down to the 5th game. Both players very, very similar, very, very similar levels in a lot of ways. So got Bike Rush in yellow in the top left playing Soviet. Snark goes Allied down the bottom right there. And so yeah, Snark's an interesting player because Snark won't he won't go into a strategy that he knows, like if he's not 70% sure of something, he won't do it. So he's one of those players where like if someone's gonna beat him traditionally or in a tank war, he's gonna totally kind of pivot and kind of get a little bit more creative with it. So I got to imagine against Bike Rush, I think he is worried about just like straight up fighting Bike Rush, playing Bike Rush's game against him. I think Snark's a little bit concerned about that. So I think we'll see Snark try to diversify a little bit, try to give Bike Rush something he's not expecting, and that's really what Blitz is all about. And so here comes Bike Rush with the super early Rhinos right on the doorstep. Pillbox out now. We're going to see Snark out now with the GGIs. Who won the BO5? Bike Rush did win their series. From Dubai to Jordan? That sounds like a good little trip, Sam Jor. While you're in Jordan, you can go hang out with Legend. Legend and Quas, both hanging out in Jordan. We got players from all over the world, man. I love it. I love it. I think Bike Rush is out of the UK. Snark is out of Israel. Global community we got here. So Bike Rush now bringing the bunkers. That's the bunkers are nasty business, man. Base walk with bunkers backed by Rhinos. Well maintained. Yeah, Snark's gonna be in trouble. He's gonna pump these pillboxes, and a flat cannon out now. Interesting. As you do see, Snark is starting to build some Eagles, but Snark doesn't really have the money for it. And so right now, Snark just has to hope. Oh, and here he comes. I was gonna say Snark has to hope Bike Rush attacks from here. Look at Snark's defenses; they're all right here. Prism Tower out to outrange that bunker. I like that. I like that. So, does Bike Rush... What's up Bike Rush's sleeve? I'd love to see him hop in and snipe this oil. It's juicy. But, so Snark just has to really stay on his toes right now. Ooh, snipes a couple Rhinos with those Eagles. Really, really well played. Paradrop top left. Love that from Snark. Snark's looking tough right now. He's giving a really, really nice allied look. He's going to set right up. He's going to want to start shooting early. He's going to set right up. Where's he going? Bike Rush doesn't see it. Goes for the barracks, so he can't build a sentry gun. Oh, never mind. He's got 3 barracks. That doesn't matter. Does get the radar. Oh, doesn't get the Deso, though. Deso comes out. Snark might have been able to take the MCV there. I don't know. Snark could have possibly gone for that MCV. Eagles coming now. As you see, Bike Rush settling into a lot of flat cans to counter these Eagles. Snark's flying right through his zone there. Loses 2 Eagles. 2 Eagles going down. Rhino's coming from the left side. Snark needs to adjust. Snark needs to adjust. Pillbox out. Pillbox out. Snipers. So Snark's got the snipers out to counter the Desos. I'd like to see some more snipers. Bike Rush bringing in a lot of fodder now. Bike Rush is broke. Snark on a 1200. Snark switches over to Battle Lab. And things will start slowly going against Bike Rush now as the Mirages come onto the field here. Desolator going in. Oh, that Desolator was like mid... what is his thing called? Mid Deso cannon spiking? That's what they do. They spike their Deso cannon. He was like mid spike. Wow. Yeah, and so Bike Rush is the kind of Soviet player who he's usually winning games with Rhinos and fodder. And as we see this game, if it starts going into a mid-late game, I think that's where Snark will really start having some advantages. The Battle Lab out. Snark is going to go BS. Every time he's in the booth, he says, yeah, Mirages or BFs. And no one ever goes BFs except Snark. So we'll see if he's right about that. Here they come. I'd love to see some snipers. No snipers down in this bottom left defensive group. I'd like to see some snipers counter those Desos. Sniper out now from Snark. Look at this one GGI just doing work on that sentry gun. Nice. Snipers out, and they're going to counter that fodder. BF's coming in. The BF's doing work right now. Does lose that BF. Desolator coming. Are they going to get down? Snipers out. Oh, mid Deso cannon spike. Again, misses it. Snipers countering those Desos nicely. And Snark had a very specific game plan, and it's working really, really well right now. So Bike Rush has map control. He's got his Battle Lab. He's got to be looking for Kurovs. He's got Dreadnoughts getting in the water. He's got his Iron Curtain out now. But those are the things you got to be looking for as a Soviet player in this position against a allied player who's tucked nicely in their corner. Snark on 10K. Now it just comes down to how many different things can Snark do at once, because he needs to get the Eagles out. Okay, so another AFC out now, so he gets more. I mean, I'd like to see a 3rd AFC. I'd like to see a 4th AFC. BF's coming, looking tough. And Bike Rush has this Iron Curtain coming. He's got a Kurov on the right side. I like that. He's in a tough spot. He's going to have to get a ton of mileage out of the Iron Curtain. And there is ways to do it, especially in Blitz against a turtling allied player, because the oil derricks are all mini bombs. So if you get into his base and you target the right oils, you can wreck him. He can only force shield so much. Kurov tries to do some work on his army there. Does get some nice splash damage in. Lot of Eagles out now. 4 pads. Hits that oil, takes the nuke, takes the war factory. Does that? Oh, it puts him low power. Oh no! So Snark, by sniping that nuclear power plant, did put him low power, and that Iron Curtain was ready to go. He had all his tanks ready to rock. More Eagles coming. Oh my God! Look at these Eagles. Devastating, devastating. There goes the IC. Oh, force shields the IC. Okay. Yeah, this is really. Look at all these Eagles, man. They're just. I mean, you force shield it now. What are you gonna do to the next wave? Iron Curtain down now. Without the Iron Curtain, he does not have a counter for these BFs. Very, very tough position for Snark. Or sorry, tough position for Bike Rush. Great position for Snark. I love this oil, man. This is looking juicy. I'd love to see that oil get sniped, but Snark's got so many decisions to make. He just, yep, there you go. Nice hit. Nuke reactor is going to go down. And now it's just, the Allied player is just able to dominate, control the Soviet player tech. Bike Rush says this is some bullshit. Yeah. It's tough. When you see an Allied player do this, it's very, very frustrating. You gotta have a play for it. You gotta have a play. Snark looking tough though. Snark looking tough. And this is the meta. What we're seeing Snark do right now, I think, is the bona fide Allied Blitz meta right now. I mean, it's the way that the top level players are playing Allied. We haven't seen it executed at the lower levels, honestly. Throughout this tournament, we really haven't seen it executed like this. But this is the kind of Allied you're going to expect to see a lot in most. I mean, is right now it's the meta. Right now it is meta. It stands for. Uh, Anyway, meta stands for most effective tactics available. A lot of people don't know that. And right now, as Allied, the most effective tactics available for Allied is to turtle and spam eagles. All right, here we go. Game number 2. Snark puts the first one on the board. Yeah, so the Navy. Yeah, that's absolutely right. It's tough, but that's what you got to do is you have to push your tech earlier, and then you have to, like, the Allied player is going to snipe your battle labs. You got to build multiple battle labs, multiple nuclear reactors. You have to get your tech up. You have to use your Kurovs. Then you have the Navy, dreadnoughts. You have to maintain an Iron Curtain, and it's very, very difficult. And a lot of players don't think of that. Like, lower level players would never build a second battle lab, but top level players, I mean, when you got a guy harassing you from the sky, it's like it's almost common sense at a higher level. So as a Soviet player, you have to protect your tech. You could commit earlier on to a bunch of flat cannons, but it's kind of tough on this map, the way the bases are built, and you can't build out here. So your flat cannons are right on the edge of your base, which is kind of annoying, you know, versus if you could put the flat cannons out a little bit to get some more mileage out of them. It's tricky though, but we'll see. You know, this Allied style has kind of just recently gotten popularized on the castle map specifically. So now we'll see the top level players will find a way to counter it, and it'll be interesting to see what that counter looks like. But the big thing is when someone's in their corner like that, the oils have massive chain reactions. So if you can get in using the IC, using a Dreadnought, using a Kirov, if you can hit an oil, you know, you can get a lot of damage done. But now Snark giving a very different look here as Snark does stretch himself out. So Snark stretching along the top side here now. GIs on the... These GIs might be going on an offensive quest. I think these GIs are going on a quest. GIs on a quest, right side. These are not defensive GIs. So you guys can tell, you can tell the difference. There's defensive GIs and offensive GIs. Look at the way they're strutting. Those are offensive GIs. Defensive GIs are a little more like, they kind of sag their shoulders. They don't have the confidence. Bunker out. Perfect counter from Bike Rush there on the bottom right. So Snark possibly trying to bring a base walk on this bottom side? Yeah, so Bike Rush is going to take that if you give it to him. Yeah, Bike Rush has the fodder. He has the tanks right now. He's going to blow right through and try to get something done. Needs to be careful. Doesn't want to splash damage himself. Grabs an oil. Snark has these GIs on the bottom side. Okay, so he's running those over. So a bit of an exchange both sides, but Snark is behind right now. Bike Rush just needs to navigate these pillboxes, avoid getting too much damage. Snark's going to keep spamming them. Wow, Snark is rolling with those Grizzlies so nicely. And now Bike Rush, okay, now, yep, drive right through. As soon as you find yourself saying, oh my god, there's pillboxes everywhere, leave the area. That's the strategy. There he goes, finds a little safe zone there right in the middle, going to snipe that War Factory. That is Snark's only War Factory. Snark going to continue to pump pillboxes here. Now hit the barracks. GG easy, no re. Just kidding, there's a re, because best of 3. And Snark says, okay, everyone in the chat's going to be talking about me being a turtle. So Snark says, this point, I'm going to win by not turtling to show everyone how tough I am. Doesn't turtle, dies. Snark's not trying to be a one-trick pony. That is true. That is true. He's trying to have multiple tricks. Currently, he only has one trick, and it's turtling. But he's trying to have multiple tricks, which you got to appreciate. So Bike Rush now going Allied, Snark going Soviet. These guys are showmen, man. They care about our entertainment, which you gotta love. You gotta love it. You gotta love when the players care about us. When the players are looking out for us. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. So Bike Rush now Allied in the top right, Snark Soviet in the bottom left. 1-1, best of 3. Winner here going on to the championship. Loser taking that long, lonely walk home. No one wants to take the long, lonely walk home. It's a sad, lonely walk. That's why they call it that. So Bike Rush, he's gonna fortify his those huts closer. That's kind of funny, especially against a Soviet player. He doesn't have the Rockies to pick him off, so it's funny to fortify whatever buildings you can against a Soviet player. Snark gonna come super early, Rhino. Yeah, those GIs getting a decent amount of work done here. So Snark, this is throwing me off now with their faction switched. Snark does a good job running over those GIs. I think, was I saying their names wrong? Wow, this is confusing for me. All right, 2 hours in, things start getting a little slippery. All right, so Bike Rush tried to bring those GIs, wasn't able to get much done. Snark countered nicely. Now, I don't know. This is interesting. I haven't seen Bike Rush play Allied before. To me, he's like a Soviet Rush kind of player. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's interesting to see already, using his GIs, using the infantry, obviously playing Allied well. Going to try to use that bottleneck on the right side to defend with infantry. He's pumping the Grizzlies, but is he going to bring air? That's the question. And you see kind of some concerning oil placements. This is kind of just someone who hasn't played much Blitz. Your building's ready, you just smash it down. Like these oils would take the MCV with it. This oil would take the War Factory. It's not as big of a deal against a Soviet player because they're not going to be sniping you with Eagles, but just something to keep in mind for you newer Blitz players. Oil placement's really, really key. You want to minimize your chain reactions. Oh, Desolator out now. Desolator countering. No AFC, so we're not going to see a sniper. And all of these GIs went from being useful to being completely useless. So he needs the AFC, he needs the sniper. You got to counter the Desos with the snipers. But I like that Bike Rush is mixing in the infantry. I think he's doing a good job. He just needs to get the snipers in there as well. But Bike Rush now way out of position, going to try to go for like a bit of a backdoor here. Snark decides instead of trading, Snark is going to go home to defend. He's got plenty of tanks to do it, so that's a good decision. Snark with a lot of rhinos right now. Rhino power. And Bike Rush now out with the AFC. Yeah, no timer for a match point here in the semifinals. So for game number 3, and we take the timer off. Try to do that for big match point games or big final games in a series. Some of the lower divisions we don't do it in like prelims and stuff. Just kind of depends on timing. So this game does not have a timer. Desolator's coming in, and still no sniper. And this is one of the other things you see from Blitz players, new Blitz players. They forget about the faction bonuses. Very few players play competitively with Great Britain, so very few players are used to having snipers. It's kind of as simple as that. So Bike Rush right now, more than likely, does not know he can build snipers. Oh, never mind, he has a sniper, just out of position. Take back everything I said, but still remember that. If you're a new player, get the snipers out. Bike Rush now on his Battle Lab tech, quite a bit behind, honestly, but still doing some work here. Can these GIs get in here? Desolator's coming. Where's that sniper at? Sniper's out of position. Desolator coming. He's going to pull back. These Mirages have completely tipped the tides for Bike Rush. Able to resist long enough to get into that Battle Lab tech was nice. Snark had a pretty big Rhino advantage for a while there. There was a window of opportunity for him to make something happen. I mean, look at the left side of Bike Rush's base, But this Rhino advantage is going to be slowly slipping through his fingers as the Mirages come out. Bike Rush has a pretty nice economy rolling here. Snipers out to counter the Desos. Paradrop on the back left. Snark comes out with a Kirov. He does counter that Paradrop nicely. And Bike Rush brings out the Chronosphere, which is great, I guess. You don't see many Chronospheres, hey, but I don't question a guy like Bike Rush. If he wants the Chronosphere, give him the Chronosphere. I love it. Ninja moves, chronoing to the back of the base, love it. Top level stuff. Kirov out now. He's got to try to get some IFVs on those. Yeah, the Mirages can be tricky, and certainly a Deso bomb's the tried and true way to do it. But the Desos are pretty hard countered by snipers, so it gets a little bit more difficult to use the Desos, which is kind of the tried and true way to deal with Mirages. Eagles coming in now, not enough to. And Bike Rush clearly does not play enough allied. He miscalculated his shots there. But I mean, I like he's diversifying. He's using his Eagles. He's playing good. But that was just funny. Like 3 Eagles. Like, we're gonna do it. No, you're not. I think he lost one over the water. It wouldn't have been enough anyway. So Snark makes a play for the water, which is really, really nice. But he's got to keep sniping these Desolators. That's everything. Okay, so now here comes the snipers. Maybe give the snipers the VIP treatment. Get them in an IFV. But you got to thin out. Those Desos are huge. Tank control getting a little mixed up around the lake here. A bit out of position. Snark's going to come down and try to take a bite. He pulls out. Man, this is really, really tight right now. Iron Curtain is ready to rock. Chronosphere's coming. So in this position, you kind of want to bait. You kind of want your opponent to use. Ooh, the Dreadnought's out now. A lot of Mirages on the right side. Snark's got the Dreadnought out. He's got the Iron Curtain ready. And Bike Rush is not countering these Desos. Oh, the Chronosphere's ready. The Chronosphere's ready. Is he going to use the Chronosphere before he goes low power? Oh, here comes... Oh, he uses it on a group of Rhinos. He uses the Chronosphere defensively right before he loses it. Oh my god, that's an Elite Deso. That Elite Deso is melting tanks right now. Just with his straight gun. He's not even deploying. So Iron Curtain comes in, and Bike Rush going to lose a lot of his army, and the Dreadnought is still pumping in. Elite Rhino. The Iron Curtain is still going. A lot left to give. The Dreadnought's out. Nothing left for Bike Rush, but well played. Well played, well played. What a banger, what a banger. And that puts Snark in the championship. Ladies and gentlemen, BR hop in here. Snark Stan. Let's get it going. Yeah, Bike Rush. Yeah, but here's the thing, man. Of course, life's always going to be safer on the porch. But it's more fun in the blood, sweat, and tears. You rolled the dice, man. You're a showman. You cared about us up here. You put on a show. You played Allied. You played a pretty good Allied, you know? You played a pretty good Allied. I think it's just difficult to manage all the different factions. Like, you know, you're not used to having snipers and eagles and stuff, but you played. It was a good Allied. It was a good look. It was some good games, man. I was entertained.